Good morning. Good morning. It is 7:30 this beautiful Monday morning, the 4th of April, 2026. Listen, we are already in the fifth month of the year 2026. You're tuned to Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. My name is Fumi Bangwala. This is the daily news review program where we run through the headlines and then we slide right into tackling the ones that have caught our eye this morning. But first, one thing the Nigerian women will do is achieve. Where's my shakere? The XT Rubber Queens have been crowned the champions of the 2026 Lagos State Women's Federation Cup. This happened over the weekend. They beat Ghetto Tigers 4 goals to 0 at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena Oniko on Sunday. Next up, the Nigerian Falconets. And this one we've been following really closely. Also beat Malawi 2 goals to 0 in the first leg of their qualifying finals for the FIFA Under 20 World Cup, Women's World Cup, right? 3 Nigerian athletes delivered was a an impressive performance at the Outdoor Music City Challenge, claiming the women's hammer through. My God, we are winning. That's all I want to say. Over the weekend, Olatochola Olatoye, that's her name. Over the weekend, we just won over the weekend, and that's what's making me so pumped. I'm so pumped this morning because, again, like I started, one thing Nigerian women will do is win. Speaking of Nigerian women, still over the last week, Bianca Odebego Ojukwu was appointed as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and was seeing my girl. She's working. She's working. She's working. So yeah, let's just. I'm hoping that the excitement, the winning streak will continue forever and ever. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, let's get into it. You already know we're going to run through the headlines for the week. Starting off with the Punch newspaper as we await our analysts to join us this morning. Starting off with the Punch newspaper, we have 2027 Obi Kwankwaso join NDC, demand litigation-free politics. The weekend brought up so many news, so many tidbit facts, breaking news here and there. I'm awaiting our analysis wording so that we can get into it. Things be happening. Thames, the great philosopher Thames sang, "Crazy things are happening." Okay, next up we have xenophobia. 130 Nigerians sign up for South Africa evacuation. Again, the new Minister of Foreign Affairs, is she working or is she working? Moving on, we have Guardian newspaper. Atiku slams federal government over declining foreign reserves despite 5 trillion naira oil windfall. Next up, we have federal government alerts citizens organizations to escalating DDoS attacks targeting critical infrastructure. Moving on to the These Day newspaper, we have police handover killer officers to AGF for prosecution as PSC ratifies their dismissal. Next up, we have UBA denies divorce rumor on Chairman Elumelu, confirms arrest of 3 suspects. This rumor has been in the airwaves, so to speak, for the last maybe a month and a half. And first of all, I don't know what it is with Nigerians and wanting to spread negative news. Yes, we know that negative news will sell, but I think most importantly, what's your business with somebody's marriage? What's your business with somebody's marriage? If they're having issues, if they're not having issues, nothing is your business. So you don't need to, I don't know. Next up, we have Daily Trust investigate attacks on journalists. MRA urges the federal government. Next up, On the headlines this morning, we also have bandits abduct 15 women, children in Katsina. Moving on to the Vanguard newspaper, we have this ship must sail. Obi says after decamping to NDC. Lastly, on the Vanguard, we have no Nigerian was killed in the South Africa protest. We will get into that, says the federal government. Next up, we have Premium Times. Terrorists burn down military camp. Vehicles in Zamfara. Hmm. Moving on, we have 2027 trader joins APC presidential race. Purchases 100 million naira funds to challenge Tinubu. We saw that last week as well. In the Nation newspaper, we have ADC LP fixed May 25 and 29th for presidential primaries. That's this month, though. Okay. Obi Kwankwaso, others join the NDC. In the cable newspaper, we have Gombe. APC picks Jamilu Gwamna as consensus Guber candidate ahead of Pantami. Moving on to the next one on the cable, we have It's Official. Peter Obi leaves ADC, blames internal battles and division, which we've been seeing to be really, really fair. We've been seeing this. Daily Post says Ikeja Electric blames reduced grid allocation for Lagos's power outages. I hear Nigerian filling stations reduce fuel price after hike. They have, because if they have, I haven't seen. It's still like on over 1,300 naira. So haven't seen that. Haven't seen that. In the Tribune newspaper, doctors issued 72-hour ultimatum over colleagues' abduction in Niger State. NRC condemns repeated attacks on Abuja Kaduna trains. Finally, in the dailies this morning, we have from the pen pushing newspaper, Yayi Progressives Movement presents 1 billion naira campaign support, 27 vehicles for all progressives Congress ahead of 2027 poll. Lastly, we have Jamdor. Jamdor withdraws from governorship race 24 hours after purchasing the nomination forms. Again, as with politics, all these we just see all these moving pieces and you're just wondering what on earth is going on. Right. Those are the headlines this morning on the national dailies. You want to do well to get you a copy. Better still stick around with us as we await our analyst this morning and get into the headlines for this morning. All right. So as we wait on him, you already know that we are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website, www.wfm917.com. Next up, you know that the numbers to call are 07000 917 09155 917 917. You can text or WhatsApp us on, or send us a voice note. Remember that last week we said we're going to start receiving voice notes. So you can send us a message or send us voice notes, which will air on 0703 175 6537 or 08155 917 917. Those are, housekeeping rules for this morning as we await our analyst this morning. For those who we haven't seen in the last couple of days, good morning to you once again and happy new month because we're just on the fourth day. What do I mean? We are just the fourth day. We just said happy new month on Friday, but okay, it's all right. Hope you had a restful weekend and a restful long weekend for some of us. For us, like this, no. Good morning, Emmanuel. Our analyst has joined us this morning.
Hi, good morning for me. Happy New Month. I think I have to
Happy
wish
New
Happy New
Month.
Month
Yeah. Oh,
to
we
you.
haven't spoke. I know now. Emmanuel, I called on
Yeah, we've
Saturday.
spoken of
We had
platform.
to. Yeah. What was that? Was that
Yeah,
Friday or
yeah,
Saturday? One of them.
yeah, but officially, I have to just wish you Happy New Month, and
Yes. Happy New Month to you. How was
I
the
wish it.
long weekend?
Well, the long weekend was one that I think I truly needed, and I
Yeah.
was able to make a good use of it. And we're back. to the grind and the hustle. And then we also have to ensure that while we are back, we make Nigeria a better place in our own little space and move forward. But good to be here again this morning. And I trust you are looking really, really good.
Every time Emmanuel comes on the show, now he's just gassing me up. Please.
No,
This
truth must be
happens.
told.
I
No,
want
truth
to
must be told for me. And
thank you.
if we don't tell the truth to ourselves, I don't know whether we want to just build a web of lies for ourselves. But I have to tell you the truth. And you're someone that you're in my corner, so I have to
Yes.
tell you the truth, whether
Thank you.
good or bad. You just have to accept it.
Have you told me any bad thing? No, except when you're pulling my legs. But you look healthy, and I'm happy. I
Okay.
shall call you. I shall call you. Let's leave this one. Okay, Emmanuel, over the weekend, things were happening. There we were seeing so much movement in the parties. I mean, is it politics? I mean, parties within parties over the weekend. I remember coming from rehearsal on Saturday, and the girl, my team member in the car, was like, "Oh my gosh, it is now Makinde article." And I was like, hey, I was driving, I dragged the phone from my hand. I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then wake up this morning to see that Obi Kwankwaso have moved to the NDC, which we talked about last week, if you recall. We talked about NDC last week. And during the course of the week, NDC had also come out to say they never came out to tweet. What was it? They never came out to tweet that they wanted Obi Kwankwaso for 2026. But like I always say on this program, the moment you start seeing rumors, right, of something, just know that something is around the corner. But I'd like to know your thoughts on this. I mean, let me this from the Punch newspaper. Actually, most newspapers talked about this already. I've carried this already. There was a meeting in Abuja, the Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, quite a few senators, they all went, to the NDC, to Dixon's house to have a conversation. And I think my first question for you is this. Is there a problem with someone moving from party to party? What does it signify if someone, because right now, this is what Obi's fourth party? Is it his fourth party? Yeah, I think so. And he's moved fourth or fifth person. Like, is there any issue? Because all our politicians, we see them move all the time, but there's so much. What's the English for it? People have so much to say about the fact that Peter Obi has moved. In fact, the presidency did come out to mock Peter Obi to say, "Oh, he's like a jelly. He just moves left here and there." Is there an issue with him moving? Because at the end of the day, aren't they all the same? Let me not say too many things. That's my first question for you.
Well, before I just go into the deep analysis of Obi movement into NDC, let me answer the question. There is freedom of association. Every
Mhm.
Nigerian, you have a right to belong to. You have a right to vote and be voted for. What we don't have is we don't have a room for independent candidates in Nigeria. And it is
Mm,
within the right of Peter Obi to move to wherever he thinks he can achieve his political
mm,
ambition.
mhm,
Uh, for even those in the presidency who are singing that he moves around, Obi contested under an unknown Abga party for someone
mhm,
who has not been in politics and won. And when there was crisis between him and Willie Obiano, his successor, he moved to the PDP, stayed in PDP for
mhm.
years. And just 2023, he moved to the Labour Party. That was, I think, his third party. And then
Yes.
before we had the crisis in Labour Party, joined the coalition, and then now moved to NDC.
To
If they think
ADC before
NDC,
NDC.
yeah,
No, he moved to
ADC, that's the
ADC.
coalition before
Yeah, yeah, the
now the
coalition. Yeah,
NDC.
I get you.
So if they say that Obi moves, Bola Ahmed Tinubu started under AD, and then
Okay.
from AD he moved to ACN, is it ACN? And then from ACN to APC. So he himself had moved has done three political parties, and he's not doing bad.
But
So
some people might argue with you that the parties were the same.
they were not the same. Alliance for Democracy is an Afenifere party.
Yeah.
AC is different.
Mm-hmm.
And APC is also a coalition of political parties. So he moved. Only
Mm-hmm.
few politicians can say they've not moved. Since
Mm-hmm.
1992, how many political parties has Atiku Abubakar been in? Atiku Abubakar, if you count his movement from outside, from leaving PDP, coming back to PDP, leaving PDP, coming back to PDP, he has been one of the most transferred politicians that I've known in this present dispensation of democracy. So they should not try and gaslight Obi for exercising his fundamental human right to move to political parties. You can't want to keep him in Labour Party when you guys, when there's crisis. And after playing by the book and getting Supreme Court judgment that said Nadi Usman is the caretaker chairman, even INEC failed to implement that until he left the party. We all know the crisis rocking the ADC.
ADC,
And I keep saying it, no sane politician would want to contest under ADC because the Supreme Court sent them back to the lower court, the High Court. And then the determination of that suit at the High Court can bring a whole lot. For students of politics, don't forget what happened in Benin Republic. Countries that are Francophone countries in Africa, we know what happens to them, how they kill opposition through court process. Benin Republic, oppositions were disqualified. Major opposition were through the court process because they're in the single party. And if they might say that, I might just call him Maradona or Lionel Messi because he played this game quite well. Nobody if Obi had jumped ship into NDC, NDC would have had even whether me or you as factional chairman, and they would have kept us in Sheraton or anywhere, and we would have instigated suits against NDC. Obi did not give any sign that he was even going to NDC. I think he played a smart move there politically because it's too late now to start fighting NDC. But what Obi has done is Obi has brought about the death of the ADC. On Monday last week, I told you that in Nigeria, we have two politicians who have grassroots appeal of followers that are not built on political structures or affiliated to a political party, but an ideology of a leader. That's the obedience movement and the Kwankwaso movement. See, Obi was meant to be played in the ADC, but Obi played the ADC. Maybe because of the way he speaks and the way he moves around, they feel like, oh, he's politically naive and he's just a businessman who has billions of naira. But let's play, let's get... See, people think Atiku Abubakar is a political strength, but political analysts like me will tell you that that is a no. Prior to the 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar had governors, had senators, House of Rep member. Obi had nothing. But when the coalition started, Atiku Abubakar brought nobody into the coalition that is currently holding a political post. Atiku Abubakar could not bring Fintri, the state governor. Atiku Abubakar could not organize the ADC in Adamawa, which led to the loss of Aisha Binani. Aisha Binani was on course to be the first female governor in Nigeria in the last election. Almost defeated the incumbent, if not defeated. Before the last-minute miracle, last-minute movement that kept a sitting governor in office. And you are not able to take a woman like that on board in the ADC in your own state. See, there are things they say that when it is time, leave when the ovation is loudest.
Absolutely.
People might not like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but Bola Ahmed Tinubu played a politics that made him to shout Emilo Kan in Abeokuta prior to the 2023 election. Because he never demanded for the post. He helped others, played the role of an advocate, ensuring that a candidate that has the popularity then and has a cult following in the north, late Muhammadu Buhari was the candidate. Because he knows if any of them fight for the position, they were going to lose woefully against Jonathan. So they needed a candidate that had that his political structure is an ideology of say Baba. That no matter where he moves to, his 10 to 12 million followers, at least they are guaranteed about 8 million votes or 6 million votes from them. That is politics. Now, if you notice from yesterday till now, the attention has shifted away from the ADC. ADC is no longer the viable bride. And I watched what my fellow Kwaram was doing yesterday, Bolaji Abdullahi. Very smart man, but sometimes you just need to keep calm. Trying to release the timetable prior to be announcing that he will be leaving. Trying to release the timetable to show that whether they've submitted the registered voters to INEC. And I was laughing. When was your judgment in the Supreme Court? When did they put back David Mark's name? So you look at the politics, the lifeline. See, ADC became a prominent coalition when Obi stepped in. Then ADC moved another phase when Obi was able to convince Kwankwaso to step in. Look at people that brought, Obi came to ADC with senators, came to ADC with House of Rep member, State House of Assembly members. Atiku came with nothing. Kwankwaso came with senators, came with former deputy governor, immediate past deputy governor that resigned to join him. A deputy governor in office resigned because he believed in Kwankwaso. Came with senators, came with all of them, House of Rep members. Even Aminu Tambuwa came with people from Sokoto serving senators and all. Now see, El-Rufai brought senators and House of Rep members from Kaduna. Who did Atiku bring? Except for spent politicians in the party. Who did David Mark brought to the ADC? I think we need to be factual when we speak, because see, I look at facts and I don't want to speak to the character of people. But when they wake up and then they want to be the best judge, I look at them and laugh. Obi has a right, Kwankwaso has a right. What they were not expecting was Obi and Kwankwaso aligning. And how they did it, who brokered the deal, I don't know. But see, everything went south at the Ibadan declaration, where they had the opposition declaration, where they said they are going to feed one candidate. You know, I told you that it's going to be a lie, because Atiku Camp thought they played it well. I learned that declaration was meant to announce that the opposition parties will be zoning the presidency to the south. But someone still wants to contest. And I will tell you politically why. If Obi and Kwankwaso align, Kwankwaso stands a better chance in 2031.
Yeah, you mentioned
will be 80-something. If he wants to give it a shot, Kwankwaso and El-Rufai will be above him. So this is his best chance to do it. But I said there's no best chance since you've been in the game for 34 good years. And you've not gotten it. Highest you've gotten is vice presidency. Then go and rest, Mr. Man. It is your right. But politics has changed. The era we have now, we have a generation that does not care about how your Pharaoh chased the children of Israel out of Egypt. So people that are saying that Obi is moving, come on. Which politician has stayed in a single party? If you like, mention the likes of Nyesom Wike. They've been in PDP. Have they not killed the PDP? See, if you go and find out now, I'm very sure Nyesom Wike is speaking party form for APC and PDP for his people in River State. It is going to be a long road. Very long road. But I think now the opposition has moved to NDC, and the ADC is just another political party that, if care is not taken, will die very soon. See, today is the day. I'm very sure, see, serving legislators, you will see about 15 or 20 of them leaving ADC today. And I don't know the position of El-Rufai yet, but if the position of El-Rufai is made known, you might see people from Kaduna also moving to the NDC. And some of us analyzed this. We said there's no fight between Obi and Dati. They just played it safe because they cannot put their egg in one basket. When Obi keep telling you that, I assure you I'm going to be, no matter what they do, I'm going to be on the ballot. I'm going to be on. They thought he was joking. And he has been meeting with Obi and Seyaki since last year that nobody paid attention to. So the people that are crying foul mostly are not even the APC urchins, but they are people, the PDP boys that have moved with Atiku to ADC and want to ride on the popularity of Obi. See, this is the first time I'm happy Atiku Abubakar will be contesting because there is no sitting governor for him. So let's test his popularity that he claimed he has. Everything was going well for the coalition until he granted that interview on Arise TV, limiting and talking down on every member of the coalition. If you were that strong, you would have won elections since you've been contesting. Ego, pride has killed the ADC. The same thing that killed the PDP. When they were shouting, zone the tickets to the south. It is not the turn of the north as per the arrangement, which I'm not comfortable with. Because I'm not of this, I keep saying I'm not the south-north people. Put competent people there. Let Nigeria move forward. You contested. If he had stayed in PDP when Jonathan was there and supported Jonathan, Atiku Abubakar would have been president now. Understand time and season, but I don't think his camp understood the concept of time and season. Now the almighty coalition that we knew would break has broken. Because the people with the organic following are stepping out. Rotimi Amechi did not bring anybody in now. Ex-governor, ex-minister, we keep talking, but he has not brought anybody in to the coalition.
What about Seyi Makinde?
Seyi Makinde has people to bring into the coalition, but we don't know where Seyi Makinde is going yet. But shortly, don't forget that Obi was in Ibadan to have a discussion with Seyi Makinde. And maybe this week, we might see Seyi Makinde moving or staying and asking these people to move to another political party. But I have high doubt that Seyi Makinde might want to hold forth with Atiku Abubakar. But if he does, that's his own. Before Obi made the move, don't forget, some of his last journey was to Goodluck Jonathan, Seyi Makinde, and Bala Mohammed. If he's able to bring Seyi Makinde and Bala Mohammed in, then the likes of Atiku, I think politically they need to retire. No, because he has turned them and turned their calculation and showed them a new way to play politics. So Obi has every right to move. Kwankwaso has every right to move. How they got their arrangements, I don't know. How they became husband and wife overnight, we don't know. But the signs were there when Obi went to Kano and went to the courtyard of Kwankwaso, and then there was shout of Obi, and Kwankwaso was smiling. I knew a game has been played. And people will say that Kwankwaso has a lot to gain. Yes, he's a politician. He needs to build the bridge between the north and the south. And he knows that apart from Tinubu politically, it's Obi that has the key to this part of the south again, the southeast and the south-south. And part of north central. And a bit of southwest. So what he has done is he has aligned with Obi. Obi, if you win, you do 4 years. It moves to the north. I will be in the best position if you win as your vice to take it to the north. Well, if we don't win, I know you will not come back. Because by that time, Obi will be 69. I know you will not come back. So I stand a better chance. And then I know you will give me your structure and support me. So I stand a better chance more than any northern politician to take it. Kwankwaso is a politician and he has to calculate his game. He sees that he has no game in this current election. So why not drop my ego and follow Obi and allow Obi to give me his people when the time is there, when the time is right. And they've told you it's okay movement. Nigeria will be okay, as they've said it. So it is going to be a lot between now and January. But don't forget, by the end of this month, we will know candidates for each political party. And the APC itself is going to self-implode when the primaries are concluded.
That's
Because
APC
some
or GDC. Which one did you say?
APC
That's
is
the
going to
ruling party.
self-implode when they
Yeah.
were saying they were going for consensus, but now this morning I'm hearing they want to go for direct. I don't even know what is happening, but I have to verify, because for consensus, even the DSP, that's Deputy Senate President Barra Jubin, is complaining, because the governor has the final say of who goes, and some of them are being dropped big time. Senator Asuku Ekpeyong, who is close to Senate President, also is planning on whether jumping ship from the APC. He's not sure that Fabio will return as the Senate President, because Hope Uzodinma is about to cut short his governorship tenure to go and contest for the Senate. Hope Uzodinma is meant to leave office January 2028. And now he has picked up senatorial form, as we've heard. And the deputy we are hearing wants to resign. So another deputy comes in, they swear in the deputy that comes in as the acting governor. Hope is eyeing the Senate president. So this is not a good time to be a politician in Nigeria if you don't have your doctor close to you checking your blood pressure. We think it's easy what these people go through. Being in opposition, your business being attacked, everything you have been attacked, and you are standing. I've complained about Atiku Abubakar's style of politics, whereby he loses election, he flies out. A year to election, he comes back, he's demanding. Ask people in the political party, they will tell you that the opposition they've seen in the last 3 years has been Peter Obi, that he refused to go away since he lost the election. He has been pressing their neck every single time. We've not seen that from Atiku. And the truth is, not every opposition wins. In Senate climes and democracy, we've seen opposition, people who stay in opposition for 40 years, 50 years. Their job is opposition. They come, they give you the challenge, and they are happy.
Yeah.
And people see them as opposition leader that believes basically on an ideology. So Obi moving is no problem. Anybody that has problem with Obi moving, I don't know, I can classify them. This is the kind of democracy we want, where everybody can move. So let the election begin, let the politicking continues. But the pride of the people who were looking for an alternative from the APC, and they got ADC will go down in history when political scientists study as the fastest or coalition that failed to kick off before its death.
Right. Thank you so much.
So it's testing popularity. And Obi has moved to NDC. If they don't like it, let them also leave the ADC. But it's very dangerous to contest a lot of litigation, a lot of lawsuits. If you have a good barrister, they would not advise you to stay in ADC. But the ship has sailed. They are not able to keep Obi. Well, maybe it might be an Atiku Amechi ticket, and we test their popularity.
Yeah, I think I saw in some of the papers Atiku Amechi, Makinde, and I was like, but Makinde hasn't moved now. But I think for me, my controversial take might be that Makinde is there because, like you rightly said, ego.
They want Makinde. They want Makinde. They want to see. Look at Okowa. He's no longer with Atiku. He's in APC. Sitting governors have been part of those who have funded PDP and PDP campaign. So they need Makinde. Politicians understand why they need Makinde and why they are cutting Makinde. And it's going to be a long journey. But I'm very sure by the end of this week, we'll know Makinde's journey.
There was something you said at the beginning, pride and ego. I mean, every human being should have pride and ego, to be honest, so that you are not just being trampled upon. But with pride and ego in politics, like for me, it's so worrying because you can tell that these people don't really have Nigerians at heart. And just to write off the example that you gave, how when Atiku loses an election, he goes off, outside the country to chill, then comes back. what concerns me most about all the opposition is how it is in the year or in months leading to the election that we see them rising. Of course, Peter Obi would be an exception here because we had been seeing him, stepping on necks. We've been seeing him doing what an opposition is supposed to be doing. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just there was something I wanted to ask you. Give me a second. What are your thoughts about the 2027 election? Because Obasani had come out to say that, look, if it was on social media, Tinubu will lose the election. But the election is won at the polls. And interestingly, I've been seeing quite a few young people pitching and saying, let's vote, get your PVC and all of that. But what are your thoughts toward what do you is it too early to ask you what your prediction is?
My
Or what
prediction is just it's a two-horse race
right, okay.
between Obi and Tinubu. It has always been between Obi and Tinubu.
Mm.
It's going to be that again between Obi and Tinubu.
Yeah, right.
And
Okay.
anybody that is able to defend his votes would win.
Mm.
And this is not the time because I don't have time to go into the analysis.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm coming up with my own analysis of 2027 elections.
Okay.
But right now it's going to be between Obi and Tinubu. Forget about Atiku. There's no governor for him this time around. So I'm taking him as an outsider. The way they took Obi in the last election as an outsider and said he will not get up to 1 million votes. So I'm saying Atiku might not get up to 3 million votes this time around.
All right. We look forward to the elections in January 2027. If you're a young person, whoever you are, please go get your PVC because that's your vote is your power. That's how you can determine what happens at the polls next year. Okay. The numbers to call 07000 917 917 09155 917 917. You can text, WhatsApp, or send us voice notes on 0703 1756 537 or 08155 917 917. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website www.wfm917.com. The time is 9 minutes after 8, and this is the Daily News Review program on Women Radio 91.7. My name is Fumi Bangala, and you've been listening to the voice of our analyst, Emmanuel Olonade, who has told us plainly and simply that it's going to be a two-horse race. We have a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you too.
Yes. I wake up, I thank God. I thank God for the morning. Many taking too much rest on the rest.
Sorry, lost that call. Do want to call us back again. Hello, good morning.
Hi, for me. Good morning.
Oh, Mrs. Oboli. Okay, Mrs. Oboli, you called in an upbeat. I need to blow Shakara for you. How are you? Good morning. Go ahead, please. You can hear you. I can hear you.
I completely agree with you. According to what I call to say, he agrees.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. That the election itself is rigged against the electorate this morning. To be a candid advice this morning to that person who has lost hope in the INEC chairman, who has lost hope in the election itself, who has lost hope in getting a good person without a price conscience to rule this nation. Be a candid advice this morning. For me, love you. Good morning.
Good morning. Emmanuel, do you get to the question?
I didn't get that. I couldn't hear clearly on my end.
What would be your candid advice to someone who has lost hope in the electoral process? INEC, all the parties whatsoever. Before you answer, we have another call. Hello, good morning. I can hear you.
Yes.
Good morning.
Anybody that tries to do the first thing, God will most surely be done. Whosoever God wants to be there will be there. Our own God can't change everything. Because God, we don't know the man of most of that, so actually not Nigeria interest, their own interest, and God knows that. For God's will to be done. I just say, no matter what happens in the political space, as long as I choosing to do the right thing in the start of anywhere, I will make it in Nigeria. I'm not going to complain. That means this should have maybe after 2020. 20 years, 2023. He has done very. There's no be that 2023. And this is my own personal opinion. That opportunity I think that is just like that another like this. If you love Obi, Obi can do it. If you love to go to your mind and after vote your mind, God will be there. I think Nigeria is okay. If Nigeria, if you love position was on idea. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Evangelist Dixon, for your comment. But back to Mrs. Bully, she's asking, and I'm sure that quite a few people would also want an answer to this question. They probably have this question in their hearts as well. For someone who has lost faith in the electoral process, what would be your advice to them? INEC, the whole process.
My advice is very simple. See, electoral process is part of what makes your life. And by the time you fail to get involved in the electoral process, part of your life is being taken away from you. I once asked you a question for me that before Buhari came on board, how were you fearing? Now, Buhari and Tinubu, how do you feel now? God. That is a result of people not participating in an electoral process, because the decisions and the outcomes of the electoral process affect your life. And if you hope for a better tomorrow for you and your children, the better tomorrow comes by the caliber of those who lead you, because they make the decision for that tomorrow. And when you commit it to God, God has given unto man to choose life or death. Choose life that ye may live. That is God. So basically, when we say we are not participating in the electoral process, we are saying we are having hope that our future will be bright, Nigeria will be bright, but we are not giving ourselves hope. So I want Nigerians who has lost hope in INEC, in the process, to look at it this way, in a very simple way, that the election next year determines the next 4 years. Now, for some of you, you had 10 million in your account before 2023 election, you thought you were rich. But what happened after that?
It reduced drastically. The value of
that
it.
10 million naira you had, you could have gotten 3 cars.
Yeah.
3 cars that you would use. But now, you cannot even get a standard 1 car.
No.
That is decision. When you hope for a better tomorrow, you need to get involved, because everything that happens in the next 4 years is going to affect how the future, how the economy is. And, well, some of us are spiritual, we believe in God, but God has given man this word to rule. He said, be fruitful and multiply, subdue, dominate. And this is our own word. And God there's a system in place, and we need to be part of that system. So by the time we ignore being part of that system, we lose an essence of us, and then the hope for a better tomorrow and the hope for a good Nigeria does not come into being, because every society is a reflection of who leads them.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. But one can argue with you that things didn't like it wasn't the current government or their policies that made things worse. One can argue with you that, oh, it was the world's economy is going through a recession. They could also argue with you that the current situation of country is because of the war going on with Iran, America, and Israel. So if they're like, no, what do you...
before the war went on with Iran and Israel, how much were you buying fuel? Did fuel jump to 985? In some part of the world, they don't buy fuel over 1,000. How much are you buying for now? 1,213. What's the difference? Before the war in Iran, how much was $1? So if you are arguing based on that, you need to come with facts.
Yeah.
What happened to Nigerian borrowing before the war in Iran? Before the war in Iran, did we implement 2025 capital project? Have we paid contractors? Are we not shifting budgets in? So what is the basis of our argument if you are saying it got bad based on this, it got bad based on this? When did Nigeria sink into recession? Second year of Muhammadu Buhari? Are we not running after IMF and World Bank policy? Subsidy is gone, yet we borrow. Was it due to Iran war? Number of out-of-school children, is it due to Iran war? 130 million Nigeria, do you know what that means? In multi-dimensional poverty. Is it due to Iran war? Lack of power, bad electricity supply. If you don't understand lack of power, is it due to Iran war? Which society thrives? Which economy thrives when there is no power? Energy drives the economy.
True.
Is it due to Iran war? No, now. We cannot argue based on that. We have to live with our decision.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
Yes. Yeah. Reflection of us. And it affects our daily living. So that's why we jump from 60 to 90 to 100 to 130. And when you vote again next year, maybe we jump to 150. Terrorism index that we have, is it a sort of Iran war? Has it gotten this bad before that we have generals being killed in their brigade command in theater of operation? Senior military officials? No, now. So when we make a decision, it affects each and every one of us. You might want to live in denial, but it does. Police brutality, young men being killed, men in uniform, black, meant to protect the innocent, waving guns up and down. Citizens have phobia. They have palpitation when they see police nowadays. Is it a sort of Iranian war? Or our decisions and our indecisions?
Thank you so much for that, Emmanuel. Maybe one thing that you would do is you would publish you say you're doing an analysis, but yeah, you would do analysis of what's been going on. Interestingly, on Saturday still, when I was in the car with people from rehearsal, and they were saying, oh, somebody was arguing for and somebody was arguing against. I said, look, you people, like Emmanuel has said, you have to come with facts. The last time I remember life being a little bit good was when I was buying fuel at 187 naira per liter. And we know that wasn't just so far off, right? And even at that, it wasn't like the economy was great like that. We know how much we were buying a bag of rice. So you have to be able to look into, okay, how was life 8 years ago? How is life 8 years after? How was life 4 years ago? How has life been 4 years after? Whatever answer you get is what should guide your decision at the polls. It's important that we all go register so we can vote come 2027. Before we go, because we've been running out of time, let's take these messages. This one is from Olusoga Ajayi. He says, the opposition are not united. They are individualistic and inordinately ambitious for power. They're strange bedfellows, and one of them has toxic and abusive followers, which could jeopardize his chances. In all, diversity will help strengthen our democracy and put leaders on their toes. Olusoga Ajayi from Odunla Ikorodu says. Additional Wasiu says, morning to you in the studio. Peter will be exiting ADC is not surprising to me because Peter Obi has never contested primaries in his life. He just wants people to give him ticket of their party. The APGA which Peter Obi started in his political career, the party is still very much alive despite Peter Obi's promise to late Ojukwu that he will not leave APGA. Obi is a serial defector, and he's a man who you will see in one party in one morning and another in the evening. Obi is a political, okay, we're not going to say that, we're just going to leave it as that. Like Emmanuel had, given us this morning, all of them, he said every single person has the right to go from one party to the other. There's no law, Abby. There's no law stating that you can't go from one party to the other. So please let's refrain from abusive words, and regardless of who you're supporting, everybody has a right to whoever they want to support and the party they want to be in. Before we go, Emmanuel, last week, Thursday, we saw that we have a new Minister of Foreign Affairs. President who had appointed Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu last week. And right now, we're seeing that arrangements are currently on their way to collect details of Nigerians in South Africa for voluntary repatriation flights. She says that 130 Nigerians have already indicated their willingness to return home. Even the president wants his eyes right now in South Africa. My question to you is this: so let me give myself as an example. I live in South Africa. I've lived there for 5 years. There's now tension in South Africa. What is waiting for me to come back to in Nigeria if you want me to come back home? Because if my whole life is somewhere else, you can say, oh, 5 years is just small. It's not. Like, you've already put roots in down. We're only hearing of people, them wanting to repatriate them back to Nigeria, but is there any plan for them to ease back into the system?
Well, basically, I think at this point, they should just come home. When there's life, there's hope.
True.
And this is why people advise that they say in Yoruba language, Ajole Dabile Ilela Posimioko. At this point, I think wherever you go in life, there is a song that says, don't forget home, don't forget home. Wherever you go in life, there is always home. And no matter how bad home is, you are still a stakeholder. The truth is, whatever you build outside, always ensure you have something to fall back on in case. You can't just grow and build your life in another man's country and not have something that can take you when there is storm. This is just a temporary storm, but it's a shame that the temporary storm is coming from an African country. And like I said last week, the backward nature and the backward thinking they have. Nobody gives you anything in life, you take it. You go back to Bola Ahmed Tinubu's speech before the election. Power is cards. You run after it, you grab it, you take it. That's life. Whatever you want, you go after it, you take it. And it's a shame that South Africans have failed to wise up. It's a shame that their government has been docile when there has been attacks on another African country. But like I said, they can't even attack the whites. Give them apartheid. And it shows the thinking of the society. Julius Malema told them that when you chase all, have you gotten the job you are saying they are taking? Do they know how we are struggling for jobs in Nigeria? Do they know the unemployment rate in Nigeria that we are rebasing? It's a shame that people who had left the country seeking greener pasture to build their life, some of them just want to come back home because they want to live. And I hope that society will be nice to them. And I hope that this will die down so they can go back to their source of livelihood that they are leaving behind just to come back home. And for some who have been roaming the streets in South Africa, this is a good opportunity for them to get free flights back home. And they've been feeling like they are doing well. See, it's not everybody that is in the abroad that is doing well. We all know that.
I didn't see that one coming.
So, to those who are just roaming the streets, thank you. Come back home. At least you are loved at home. And for those who have built something I only wish that the South African government had done better to protect them. But good movements, good moves by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and kudos to Bianca Ojukwu for taking up leadership. And I think they have a meeting with the South African envoy on Wednesday or Tuesday. I can't remember the date. So I just hope that they communicate their mind and they tell them point blank that you don't touch the life of a Nigerian. Let them know. Let them go and tell their governments. Because I can't be president. The ambassador will be reporting to Aso Villa every day. And God bless you. Let one Nigerian be killed. That's just it. Let's take a stand. They cannot touch an American that way.
No.
So that's just it. I think I'll just.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for coming on today's edition of the Daily News Review. Truly, truly, truly appreciate,
That's what I said.
Thank you so much. From us over here, we've come to the end of the Daily News Review program, and catch us at the same time tomorrow by 7:30 for another edition of the Daily News Review program. That's it from us. Emmanuel, once again, thank you so much for coming. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me.
9 o'clock is the news. 9:05 is Her Lens. Don't go anywhere. This is So Women Radio. Many thanks to my producers. They know why I'm pausing. My producers for producing me this morning, Hillary and Rachel this morning. Yeah, collecting. Thank you. Okay, catch you same time tomorrow by 7:30. Don't go anywhere. This is So Women Radio.